Have you been sending a lot of your CVs to a lot of job openings and not getting a response back for an interview? Then listen into the next few minutes. I'm not going to be talking today about how to make a CV. It's very easy now. You go on the net, look at Google Docs or Microsoft. They have a template. They will tell you how to do it. You know, your contact details on top, your summary of your experience, etc. in middle. Then you start with your work experience starting from your current one. Then it goes back to your earliest one. Then you have your educational qualifications, your trainings, etc. and you close. That's the template, and we are not going to talk about it. You can go there, and it will tell you. It's self-help almost. What I want to talk about today is how to get more people to call you for an interview. And I want you to put on a marketing hat right now, okay, and think how to make people call you for an interview. Yeah, and I want you to think of yourself like a product. Okay, so you are the product, and you need the interviewer to call you and talk to you. That's the whole objective. And the CV or the resume, think of it as a TV ad, as an ad for your product. Okay, it's an advertising for your product. Okay, so what's it so great about a good ad? Okay, typically they are short, maybe less than a minute, 30 seconds to a minute. Why are they short? Because one is obviously it's more expensive to make a longer one, but also because people have a shorter span of attention now. Okay, so they can't look at longer commercials. The second is a really good ad has to catch your attention when it starts, because it's so easy for you to drift and do something else while this ad is going on TV. So it needs to catch your attention. And the second part of a good ad is it has to have in the end a call to action, and that call to action should be for you to at least go and try that product once. Okay, so a good ad will serve these two purposes. It would make you listen to the whole thing, and it would have a call to action on what to do. So the call to action would depend on many things, and you can look at your favorite washing machine ad, shampoo ad, whatever ad, and the next time you watch on TV and see how a good ad is structured. Now let's come to the resume. So how do you get these two things done? The first one is to capture attention. Why is it important? Because like you, everyone else has gone on the same Google Docs and created the resume. It's because it's so standardized now in the format which I explained earlier, that if you have 20 CVs in front of you, it's very difficult for one to look different from the other. They all look the same, almost similar fonts too. Okay, so the first thing that needs to be done is to make sure that this stands out. And how do we make that happen? Okay, how do we make that happen? Few tips. Okay, one is try using colors. Okay, most of the ones you see on digital or on hard copy are usually black and white. A little color would suddenly make this thing stand out and notice, oh, somebody took some effort. Okay, pictures, the picture you put, it should not be as bad as the other card quality, nor it is the Instagram kind of picture or the Facebook kind of picture. It should be more LinkedIn kind of picture, professional, sharp, and a picture which captures some of the softer attributes of yours which you want to convey. Does it show energy, responsibility? It should, some pictures talk. So pick up that kind of a picture which conveys what you think you stand for. Okay, so very important. I have also seen some very innovative ones. So I had somebody applying for a marketing role, and along with his resume he sent a video resume. Okay, this is, the times are changing, so people don't want to read, people want to watch. Okay, so he sent a video resume, and in that video it captured his career from a start to now, and basically they were photographs with the voiceover, his own voiceover. Okay, where he talked about different achievements, and there were photographs of his taking some awards and stuff like that. Definitely I called him to talk to him after that. Okay, it because it is creative and it was for a marketing role, it was so different, it catches attention, and also there is that call to action that you want to talk to this guy, you want to know who this guy is. Okay, the other thing which is absolutely important today is to very boldly have a link to your LinkedIn account. Mandatory. Okay, why is it mandatory? Because today the LinkedIn account actually is far more powerful than your most resume, because it can capture a lot of other things, like what people are saying about you. Okay, recommendations or references given from your previous either your managers or colleagues who worked with you, or your team members who worked with you. It's very powerful. So please have a on the first page itself, very prominent. Okay, which is, if you don't have a LinkedIn account, well, there are people who don't have. Okay, that is absolutely a no. In fact, I know this guy, a senior guy, who didn't have a LinkedIn account, and his the person who was planning to hire, or where he had applied for in another country, she called me up to discuss about him, and after we discussed, at the end she said, you know what, I was searching for his LinkedIn account and he doesn't have a LinkedIn account. So somebody in this age doesn't have a LinkedIn account, I don't think he's the kind of guy we want. Yeah, LinkedIn account, if you don't have, create one, build it. Okay, pay attention to what is being put in the LinkedIn account, what you are putting in the LinkedIn account. Okay, people are going to go there and watch it, they're going to read it far more carefully than your resume. So please have it. Email ID, I think you might have heard it many times. When you're growing up, you have all this funny email IDs. Okay, hotboy@gmail.com, cute girl, all that. Change it. Have a proper name.surname@gmail.com or some version of that. Okay, so this, you can't imagine how it sounds when you get in CV with an email ID which sounds like that. Okay, immediately, this whole game is about how they perceive you through your CV, through your resume. So make sure it is very professional. Now let's look at the second part, which is basically getting them to give you a call. Okay, so one thing is, this CV, this resume should not be too long. But if you want to put in a lot of what you did in the back, okay, put it in from page 2 onwards, you have, but don't make it a dossier. Try and make it 2 or 3 pages. The first page should have the most important things. Okay, after your contact, which we spoke about, there should be one summary section, and then some of the other important things which you're proud of and you want to talk of. Just these 2. Why? Nobody has the time to read through 5-10 pages of resume. Nobody reads. Okay, so please don't even waste time on that, but spend time on your first page. Okay, now the summary to me is the most important thing here. Okay, and the summary is like an elevator pitch. and if you don't know what it means, look at Google and find out. It's basically, in less than a minute you should be able to explain what you are and things like that. And here my advice is that the summary should answer the question, why should they hire you? Yeah, it should answer the question, why should they hire you? And you should be able to answer that in that summary. And for that, and that means that this summary will keep changing every time you apply for different roles. Okay, remember that. Because you might be, for example, an engineer and you want to, in this company, apply for a sales role, but in some other company you want to apply for a marketing role. Okay, or you're hardcore techie guy, but in this company you want to apply for an R&D role, and in this company maybe a field service engineer role. This summary should be customized to the role you are applying for. So the first part of summary, or actually the two parts of summary, I'll explain what these two are, but they should answer the question, why should they hire you? So the first part of that is your soft skills. Okay, so for example, if you're a sales guy, then if you're if you think you are high energy, you like meeting people, you like engaging in a relationship, all these things will come in that first part with the softer skills. Not too long, not too fluffy, very clear to the point, and if possible there is some connection to something which happened in the past. The second part is the actual experience piece. Okay, where did you do something like this in the past? So in your whole, say, 15 years or 10 years of experience, some part of your career you had done sales. Now it's hidden in some of those second or third pages of your CV. Now what you need to do is, because this role is for that kind of role, which is a sales manager, for example, you need to extract that piece out from somewhere, from the back pages, and copy it here in your summary and say, by the way, I have experience and I did very well in that year in working for this company and blah. You don't expect the interviewer to read all the pages and find out hidden somewhere that you actually have sales experience. No, bring it into your summary. Now when you're applying for the marketing role, that summary has to change. Look for somewhere in the background where you have a marketing related experience, bring it into the summary. The summary has to answer the question, why should they hire you? How well you write that will depend on whether they will call you or no. It should build curiosity enough for him to want to know more about you. It should sound genuine, it should sound authentic, and it should save his time by very clearly putting up and answering this question, because that's all they want to know from your resume. Okay, and the second part, like I said, on the first page could be a lot of things you're proud of, which may be not directly relevant to this, but it's okay. But the summary to me is the one which is the hook to get him to call you. Okay, so just remember that, spend time on that. You're the product, this is resume is the ad. The ad, first is it should be picked up from 20 resumes or CVs, and after picking up, when they look at the first page, it should create a hook for him to call you and want to talk to you more. Okay, just before I sign off, there are two other things I think you must keep in mind. One is, the resume is a living document. It's not to be filled only when you are looking to change jobs or looking for going for an interview. It should be reviewed every maybe 3 months or 6 months. Why? Because life is moving on. There's a lot of things happening. If you try once in 2 years, try and sit down and update your CV, you will miss a lot of good stuff in your life which has happened at the workplace. You will just miss it off. Best way is to keep writing it down, and once in 3 months update your CV with what's been happening in your current role. Otherwise you'll forget. Human, we don't remember many times the good stuff which happens. We remember the bad stuff. Okay, so one is the make sure that it's alive. It's alive at any time, as late as 3 months old. Okay, it should be alive. It should be updated. Doesn't matter if you're planning to change the job or not change the job. Just keep it alive. The other thing to me is never lie in your CV. There should be nothing false in your resume. Okay, just remember that if you don't have a particular skill, you don't have that skill. Don't fake it. Because if you don't have the skill, it is fine. Many times they, like many other things in you, you are a package. Okay, there is a lot of energy, lot of other stuff. In fact, your honesty will also be one of your plus points. And many things are trainable later, so it's okay. But if there is a feeling that you're faking it, then that is something companies don't want. They don't want somebody whose integrity is in question. Yeah, so never ever fake things on a resume. Okay, so next time we'll talk about what to do in an interview. Okay, till then, stay unstoppable.